you're unsuccessful with the Board of Review, then your last option is to file what's called a petition for judicial review with the district court. It's called judicial review because an actual judge will review your case. One benefit to judicial review is that you have a fresh set of eyes on a case from a judge who doesn't work at Dieter and is well trained in the law. The judge may see your case differently and reverse the prior decisions. With this benefit, though, comes a lot of challenges. First, as with the Board of Review, a judge isn't allowed to consider any new evidence. It can only consider evidence presented during the initial appeal hearing. Second, the standard is fairly high for a judge to be able to overturn Dieter's decision. Nevada law says that a judge can't substitute its judgment for Dieter's. It can only decide whether a decision was based on substantial evidence, meaning a reasonable person would view the evidence as enough to support Dieter's conclusion. Another way to put it is you would need to show that with its decision, Dieter acted arbitrarily or capriciously, or that the decision was clearly erroneous. So unless there's some clear error or evidence that Dieter was acting randomly rather than following applicable rules and laws, then your chances of winning with the court aren't very good. Third, the court process is quite a bit more complex than Dieter's process. You would need to file a petition with the correct district court, serve summonses and your documents on the state, your former employer, and others, file an opening legal brief, appear at a hearing with the judge, and more. This process can be challenging for someone who isn't trained in the law. But the Civil Law Self-Help Center does have a website with step-by-step instructions you can follow, along with forms you can use. The instructions are quite comprehensive and helpful, so I'll put a link to that in the lesson notes. Fourth, when you file a petition for judicial review, your employer and the state are entitled to oppose you, so you might have two other lawyers fighting against you, depending on the case. Fifth, you would need to pay a filing fee of $200 to $300 and pay to have your documents served unless you file a fee waiver application and are eligible for it based on your financial situation. So as you can see, filing and arguing a petition for judicial review is no simple task, and your chances of winning are probably not great. But if you think you can show that Dieter has made an obvious error and the Board of Review either didn't consider your case or ruled against you, then it might be worth a try. You'd want to focus on legal arguments by showing that based on the evidence presented at the appeal hearing, Dieter incorrectly applied the law. Citing the law, it did not follow correctly, and identifying the evidence that shows you should be eligible. Certainly, having an attorney represent you with the district court would be preferred. The only problem with that is you're likely looking at paying an attorney a lot of money because completing the entire process, especially writing the legal briefs, can take a lot of time. Again, I recommend looking at the link in the notes if you decide to represent yourself.